Hi everyone, NETFQ here. Today I want to just go over skill point farming and how you go about doing it and the potential profits that you can make. Now I know that this is a controversial subject. I know a lot of people think that it's unethical and that it's people are exploiting the game doing it, which is fair enough. I mean, it's not exactly trading on the market, if you like, buying low and selling high. It's a different sort of game mechanic, but again, it's all in game. Everything is done legally and does not break any exploits in the game. It's all market driven, so by all accounts, it is legal. It should be. But again, it's a way that you can have multiple accounts paid for free, which I guess CCP would, frown upon, depending on how many accounts you actually had doing this. As if everyone did it, then they wouldn't make any money. So yeah, just something to be aware of. Don't have too many of these accounts because CCP may take a look at you. But anyway, in saying that, let's carry on, and I'll just show you the basics of it. So on your screen right now, you'll see that one skill injector in Jita currently at the time of this recording, you're looking at making a profit or selling an injector for 740 million ISK. Now that's taking into account the sales tax and broker's fees, which have been deducted. So you'll sell it for a lot more than that, but when it's sold, you'll make 740 million ISK. Now the skill extractor currently are selling for 325 million ISK in Jita. So if you just do the simple maths there, you'll find that extracting skills, it'll be 500,000 skills, and selling them, you'll make a profit of 414 million ISK. Now you can upskill that. Now the way I'm going to show you how to do a skill farm is it allows you to extract 4 skill injectors. Well, actually no, 1 skill injector every 7 days and 17 hours. So really just over a month you'll be able to extract 4 lots of skills. So you'll have 4 skill injectors per month. So if you just do the maths on that, for 1 character for 1 month, 4 skill injectors you'll be able to sell for 2.9 billion ISK. 4 skill extractors you can buy for 1.3 billion ISK, and of course you need to have the character actively training skills. So if it's not your main, if it's just another alt on the same account, all you need to do is buy a multiple pilot training certificate, and you can buy one of them on the market for 1.1 billion ISK. So after a month of doing this, you'll make a profit of 559 million ISK. Now if you ramp that up even more, and let's say you have another account that has 3 characters on it, 1 character being your main, I guess you have to pay with Plex, 500 Plex, and the other 2 you have to give them a multiple pilot training certificate, so you need 2 of them. So if you have a look there and you do the maths, so after a month with 3 characters you're looking at 12 skill injectors, and if you sold them you'll be making 8.8 billion ISK. 12 skill extractors currently cost 3.9 billion ISK, and of course 500 Plex current market value costs you 1.4 billion ISK, and you're going to need the 2 multiple training certificates and they're going to set you back 2.2 billion ISK. So at the end of 1 month, you will be able to sell 12 skill injectors minus how much you've paid out, and you're going to make a profit of 1.3 billion ISK. So if you think about it like that, that's 3 characters that you've got that you don't have to pay any subscription fee for, or pay CCP to purchase using real cash ISK, Plex, to Plex your account. This is all paid for in game, and you've got 3 characters that you can do with what you like. Not only that, but every single month you're going to make a profit of 1.3 billion ISK that you can do with what you like. And the sky's the limit. You can just rinse and repeat. And you had 2 accounts, 6 characters. Obviously you'll double that. 3 accounts, 9 characters. You'll triple that. So yeah, it just goes up from there. But anyway, how do you go about doing it? How do you go about setting this up to make this sort of money? Well, I'll show you. So I'm currently in G2, as you can see, and this is a new character, freshly out of the cooker. And what we have here is I've just done the basic quests, if you like, just to get out of the warp disruption bubble when you first start playing the game and you do the tutorials. And if you do all that successfully, you get this mini skill injector, and this mini skill injector gives you 25,000 skill points, which is great. So every player that starts off, they start off with some skill points. So if we just open the character sheet here, whenever it loads, you'll find here that this character currently has 366,968,000 skill points. Now, as you know, to be able to extract skill points, you need at least 5.5 million skill points. So we need to get this guy up to 5.5 million skill points, and to do that we need to train him. So first of all, the first thing you're going to do is, if this is an alt on what another character in the 2 spare slots that you've got on your account, you're going to have to buy initially multiple pilot training certificate, just so he can actually start training some skills. Now that's not necessarily essential, but it helps. Otherwise you're going to have to buy skill injectors, and that can get expensive, but I'll talk about that later. So again, fresh character, nothing's currently training, no skill points here. He's only got that many he's trained already, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to go activate that skill injector, just a mini one, just to give him a little boost, and he's got 25,000. Now the first thing you're going to need to do is give this guy some cash. So let me just do that now. Oh, I'm not even logged in. Just bear with me 2 secs. But while I'm waiting for that to load, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to buy some skill points initially. And if we go up here to open multiple buy window, and we copy from clipboard, right, these are the skills that your skill books that you're going to have to buy. Now the idea with these skill books, if you have a look here about research and laboratory operation and advanced laboratory operation, mass production, they're useful skills that at least when this character is up and running, you can actually use it for something. In this respect, you can use it for blueprint research, blueprint copying, or basic basic manufacturing of stuff. So at least the character is not just sitting there being wasted away, just being trained up and extracted. You can actually use these characters for something a bit more meaningful. In this case, as I said, research and blueprint copies, everything to do with that you really don't want your main having to worry about all that. You can just set it up, leave it go, especially research jobs that take months and months to research. You can just let it sit there and it'll just do it, which is fantastic. So you need these ones, but yeah, as I said, you need ISK, because currently this character only has 85,000 ISK, which is not a lot really. It's quite limiting. So I will just transfer some ISK to this guy. Let's just make sure this is a guy. Yep. Right. And we'll transfer. Okay. So this guy's now got 10 billion ISK. Now, you don't need 10 billion ISK. Don't get me wrong. I'll show you the slow way and I'll show you the fast way at doing this. Okay, so first of all, you need to buy these skill books. So here they are here. It's going to cost you 25 million ISK. So I'll just go ahead and buy them. And what I'll do is I'll go in and I will inject them all. Bob's your uncle. There we go. Next thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to put a skill plan together, a skill training plan together, because as you can see it's empty. So the skill training plan to get your character up to 5.5 million skill points. This is the one that I use. Again, it can vary depending on what you want the character to be or how you want to use the character, but this is what I normally do. First thing you want to do, if you can have a look there, is get your Cybernetics up to level 5 because that is going to allow you to train faster, and the faster you can train, the faster you can get the 500,000 skill points to extract and sell. So it's very, very important that that's the first thing that you train up to. And we'll just let all of that load, and it's going to come back and say that some of that stuff is trained already. As you can see, Cybernetics 1 is already trained, Science up to level 4 is already trained on this character, it's out of the box, and Salvaging level 3 is trained as well. Same with Industry 1, but that's fine. Okay, that's just obviously saved us time. Now what you'll notice as well with all these skills that we've got here, if we have a look at the requirements, they all require the same attributes, primary being intelligence and the secondary being memory. All of these require the same attributes, primary, intelligence and memory being the secondary. And the reason why this is important is one of the things we need to do with this character now is if we go into the character and then we go into attributes, we need to change these attributes so we can get the maximum amount of skill points per hour out of this character. And how we do that is we have to remap the attributes of this character, and we need to take them all out of willpower, perception and charisma, and we want to put as many as we can in intelligence, and the remaining ones we want to put into memory. Okay, and then we just save. Brilliant. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to buy some implants. Currently there are no implants, but what implants do is they allow you to train faster as well. And the implants that we need is we need the attribute enhancers, and we need the implant for slot 2. And it will be these ones down here. The standard one is the one that you want to implant when your cybernetics is at level 4. And then again, when it's at level 5, you need to use this guy here, which is the improved one, and that gives you a +5 bonus to, in this case, memory, which is slot 2. So if it's 4, use that one. If it's 5, change it to that one. Because the training time between 4 and 5, if we just have a look here. Yeah, so between 4, it's going to take me 2 days to do level 4. And then, but to get to level 5, it's going to take 11 days. That's a long train. So for that amount of time, I would definitely buy a standard one and, you know, inject it just to speed up, you know, that training time. So you'll get 11 days down to probably 9 days or 10 days. So it just saves a, you know, a couple of days just to get that down as quick as possible. And then obviously once cybernetic is at to level 5, buy the improved one, and then that'll speed the training up for all the rest of the skills you need to train up. So once all these skills have been trained up, you're going to have about 5.5, you know, or 5.3, 5.4 million skill points. At that stage, you need to start training the skills that you're going to use to be extracted. And those skills, if I just pick them up, are going to be these ones here. And what we'll do is we'll just add these to the end of the queue. And once it's finished, yeah, CCP really have to speed this up a bit. It's quite slow with doing it. Okay, the skill queue is full. That's because obviously I've got a hell of a lot of training in there. So we can add that last one once I've trained up a couple of things. But anyway, if we come down here, these are the ones what you want to want to inject. They're all to do with navigation. So they're all these ones here, and sorry, under targeting. These are all these ones. The sensor compensations. Okay, and again, these are all have the same attribute requirements. Primary being intelligence, and secondary being memory. Okay, now as you can see, the skill points for each of these at level 5 is 512,000 skill points. So it basically means that once each of these is trained up, you'll be able to extract 500,000 skill points for them. Yeah, and that's what you want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you've got 4 of them. It'll last you a month. After that month, you can extract them all, or you can just extract them all as they come up, as they complete training for each one. You know, throughout the month, you can just extract the one that's not been trained, and then just sell it, and then just add it to the end of the queue. And you know, it's just a continual cycle like that. Very good. But anyway, now the downside, there is a downside. What I'll do is, if I just remove these skills, and that's just, yeah, CCP really has to speed that up. Right, okay. As you can see, with just the skills that you need to get up to a position where you can start skill extracting, it's going to take you 94 days. So it's going to take you 3 months to get to a point where you can start skill extracting. Now that, for some people is a hell of a long time. And that means for each of these accounts, one, you're going to have to invest in all the skill books. Two, you're going to have to invest in the memory augmenters, or the what do they call them? The attribute enhancers. You'll have to buy two, one for memory and the other one, which is this one here, which is slot 4, which is for intelligence. You are going to have to invest in these, and some of them can be quite, well, that's actually quite cheap, isn't it? No, that's a limited one. Hold on, this one here, sorry. They can be quite expensive, as you see that one there, the level 5 intelligence booster. You're looking at just over 100 million ISK. So it can be quite expensive, but not only that, is that to continue training this character, if it's on another character slot on your main account, you're going to have to buy some multiple pilot training certificates, at least 3 of them. 3 of them will last you 3 months, and that'll be enough time for these skills to be complete, because it's not 94 days, don't forget, because once Cybernetics level 5 is trained, you're going to buy these improved enhancers, which will get this training time down to below 90 days. So you're basically going to have to buy 3 multiple training certificates, multiple pilot training certificates, and of course the implants, and then you're going to have to wait 3 months to be able to use this character. So that's the slow man's way of doing it. That's the way you'll do it if you're on a budget. But what I'll do now is I'll actually show you the faster way to do it, and that is to actually just buy the skill injectors. Now I've actually worked it out, the fact that if you just do it the slow man way and just buy the multiple pilot training certificates and you wait 3 months, at the end of 3 months you're not going to have any money. But if you buy the skill injectors to quickly get you up to 5.5 million, in 3 months time you'll actually be $1 billion in profit. But sure, you have to lose X number of ISK for those 90 days before you actually get into profit. But again, it just depends on what you want to do. So let's go ahead and do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to buy some skill injectors. So let's just find out how much they are. Large skill injectors. Let's have a look. Okay, well, there we go. They're 741 million. Oh, that's actually quite cheap, isn't it? Yeah, that's another thing as well, is that when you come to sell these skill injectors, where you sell them is very, very important. Now what I've found is, even though they're really cheap in Premier Tier, it doesn't mean that they're not going to sell in Jita. And the reason why that is that people don't know that you can inject these remotely, or they just want to buy it locally, because as you can see here in Jita, they're $20 million more, 20 million ISK more at 761. So that'll be the price that you'd want to be selling your injectors for. Or if you move them out to, say, Amar, again, you buy your extractors in Amar and sell it in Amar, you'll actually make a bit more money, because I think in Amar they're currently selling for 780 million ISK each. So you just shop around, work it out yourself, where's the best place to extract and inject, but word of warning, don't go traveling around, especially in high sec, in a ship that's full of skill injectors, because you will get ganked. People will try and kill you, so please don't do that. Try and extract and sell in the same station. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'm going to buy some of these ones from Premier. They're 700 million each. What I'm going to do is I am going to buy 10 of them. So that's going to cost me 7.4 billion ISK. So I'll go ahead and do that. And there goes my money. And what I will do is I will go into here, go into my personal assets, and I'm going to inject all 10 of them. And that's going to give me 5 million plus the 25,000 that I've already got unallocated. I'm going to do that. Brilliant. Done. And then I am going to apply, and I'm going to confirm.
Skill training completed.
And as you can see, the last one that is needing to be done here is just the last mass production, and that's going to only take 11 hours, so half a day. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to re-add the skills that I'm going to use to extract. So I'll add them to the end of the queue. While it's doing, I can't change that. But we'll just let that finish. Okay, 20 skills added, and there we go. I'll just close this window down. And one thing I need to buy now is, now that I've trained up to Cybernetics level 5, I need to buy my implants. So it's the slot 2 implant, which is the memory. You buy the improved one. Buy it cheap, it's in the same station. These ones you can't plug in remotely, so you have to make sure that you buy them from the same station. Well, or unless you travel to the station where you bought them from. And the slot 4 one, which is the memory, we'll stick that in. Right, and I'll just show you the reasons why we do that. Now, if you look at my training currently now, you'll see that mass production is going to take 11 hours to train. But more importantly, if you have a look at here, any one of these level 5 skills here, for the sensor compensation skills, as you can see, each one of them to train to level 5, from 4 to 5, is going to take 7 days and 19 hours, which is quite a long time. But when we inject these guys, or plug them in, plug in that guy, plug in that guy, you'll see that instead of it being 7 hours and 19 minutes, it's now only 7 days and 19 minutes. Sorry, 7 days and 19 hours. What am I talking about? Sorry, it's really late at night here. I need sleep. But anyway, from 7 days and 19 hours, we've reduced that time to only 6 days and 12 hours. So from this guy here, from the level 1 to the level 5 of each skill, if you add all that up, you're looking at what I said before, which was where was it? Which was 7 days and 17 hours. So 17 hours, well, it's just basically 1 week and 17 hours. You can extract one skill injector. So over a month, 4 weeks in a month. Some months have 5 weeks, but yeah, CCP do it by days, don't they? So yeah, 4 weeks in a month, on average, you're looking at 4 skill injectors per month that you'll be able to sell. And that's it. That's all you need to do. And as you can see, our implants, the only implants we've got, which are the only ones that matter, is for the slot 4, which is intelligence, and the slot 2, which is memory. And if we look at our attributes for this character, you'll see that the bonuses that we're getting the base points for intelligence being 17, and the remap ones, we bumped that 17 plus the 5 all the way up to 32 with the remap. And just like memory, you got 17 base plus 5 plus the remapped attributes that we've got there, and that's boosted up to 26. So 32 for memory and 32 for intelligence and 26 for memory. And that's it. This character is now good to go. So in approximately, basically, just over, it's 7 days and 17 hours plus another 9 hours to finish off this mass production skill. You're looking at 8 days I'll be able to extract my first skill injector, and then another 7 days and 17 hours after that I'll be able to extract another one, and then just rinse and repeat, and that's it. This character is now good to go. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Again, it is quite a it is quite a touchy subject. These skill point farms. I know a lot of people do it. I mean, you just look at some of these stuff that's in Jita at the moment. Each of these sell orders. I mean, if you look at that, let's just scroll down and just see if we can find some. Like these ones here. 49, 49, 49, 49. Who has 49 large skill injectors lying around unless they're not, getting them from skill farms? Premier, these are all Premier, but you look at some of the ones that are in Jita. If we just scroll down to Jita, look at that. Some person is selling 298 of them. Someone is selling 185 of them. And I've seen, other ones selling, 500 of them as well. So, no one's selling them without, look at all these ones. No one's selling that many skill injectors unless they have a skill farm. Or unless they just want to get one of their Titan pilots and they just want to extract all the skill points from, them and sell them. But most of these you'll probably find other people with skill farms just selling the skill injectors once they've been harvested. But anyway, that's hearsay. I'm not one to complain. It is a way to make money, especially if you're starting out. It is really, really hard to know how to make money in EVE. And it really does take a while to get a foothold somewhere, to know what you're doing, and to know, to find your niche where you can actually start making money and start enjoying the game properly. But if you look at it this way, sure, people may say it's an exploit, but it's a game mechanic. All you're doing is buying and selling. Well, you're buying skill extractors and selling skill injectors. It is a legal way to do it. I mean, you're not doing anything wrong. But again, I guess CCP would frown upon it if you had 100 accounts just on these skill point farms, because that's obviously 100 accounts that they're not getting paid for. They're not getting real life money for it. You're not subscribing to CCP, so they probably wouldn't look negatively on that. And from that point of view, you could say it is a game exploit, but again, it's one that CCP created themselves. Why would they add skill extractors and skill injectors if they didn't realize that people could turn that around and use it as a way to play for free? But anyway, that's hearsay. I don't want this to be a debate about the pros and cons of skill point farming. But all this was is just a quick way just to show you guys and girls how you'd go about doing it, and the type of money that you can make from doing it as well. As I said, if you had one account and 3 characters doing this, paying for your 500 plex, paying for 2 multiple pilot training certificates, you are looking at a profit of 1.3 billion ISK every month. The downside of that, obviously, is you can't train these characters up to be a Titan pilot. You can't train them up to do anything apart from, as I said, the initial base skills that you choose. In this instance, just for research and blueprint copying, which is still great. It's always great to have alts that can do that. But if you think about it another way, you do this, that's 1.3 billion ISK a month that you get. That's enough to pay for a plex for your other account, your main guy that is your Titan pilot or is your exploration pilot. That you've basically got another account for free that you can train up however you like. So you could think about it like that. Anyway, there's many ways you can cut it, and I hope you found this entertaining and learned something. But just please respect the CCP rules, and don't go overboard with this sort of stuff. The more people that do it, CCP will eventually one day clamp down and stop this loophole. They'll probably increase the price of skill extractors or flood the market with skill injectors, which will lower the price, which will make this type of skill point farming non-profitable. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw it out there. So until next time, I hope you have a great week, and fly safe. Until next time, bye for now.